Hi guys, welcome to the 9th episode of Comicgeddon.
Where all geek culture collide.
We've got a great episode for you today. Also, we're on a new channel now, Comicgeddon TV on YouTube.
Welcome, if you're watching on there now.
The full broadcast of our show, which will be half an hour to an hour long broadcast, will still be on John's Geeking Out Comics channel as well as my channel as well. And then the individual episodes will be put onto Comicgeddon TV.
Which you could just Google that on YouTube.
And of course, all these episodes are a Dutch oven production. Directed and produced by S.M. Kornthal.
And how fit is that it's called Dutch oven, because my girlfriend gets pissed at me all the time.
I keep threatening my wife to do it to her.
She'll leave me if I do that.
Yeah, so stay tuned, guys. Alright guys, we're here. We're recommending Superman Doomsday, Hunter Prey. It's a 3-part mini graphic novel series. If you want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about the backstory.
Okay, so the backstory to this is, again, we go back to 1993. This was a huge year just to be a geek. I already went over the Power Ranger review. Also that year we had the death of Superman. This guy right here is called Doomsday. Doomsday is a creation on Krypton. They couldn't control him, so they banished him, shackled him, and shot him out in space. And he crash lands on Earth, and years later he awakens, comes out, and causes massive havoc. The thing with Doomsday is you can't kill him twice the same way. So he comes out, utterly destroys the Justice League, fights Superman to the death. After the death of Superman, we had the reign of Superman, and one of the Superman, the Cyborg Superman, who we later would find out is not not a nice guy. But during that time, he takes Doomsday, who was being held by Cadmus, I believe, and he takes him and throws him out in space, tied to a rock.
Yeah, and it's actually revealed that he transferred part of his consciousness into the chains that held Doomsday to that rock, so that, you know, if he's ever destroyed, because Henshaw, he can transfer his consciousness into metal objects or technology so that he can recreate himself later on.
And Henshaw is the Cyborg Superman. Yeah. So I go over this little very brief history of the death of Superman, which I may actually do in a review, another review sometime. I think we already did the death of Superman, but I think I might actually go into the history about it some another episode. But right now, I give you that brief history because this is essentially a direct sequel to the death of Superman storyline.
The death and return of Superman.
Yeah.
In this, we start off with Superman, Clark Kent, and Lois Lane. You know,
I wore that shirt. Similar shirt.
Actually, this is what I referred to in previous comics. Young Clark Kent, spitting image of Tom Welling from Smallville. You see that?
Oh yeah,
spitting image.
Right there,
yeah. You know it.
The artwork in there looks like it's awesome.
Yeah. This was, you know, right shortly after the reign of the Superman, when Superman had the mullet, you know.
Mullet Superman.
Yeah.
The one Superman everybody tries to forget about.
Yeah. And, you know, he's waking up in cold sweats and everything because the one creature that was ever able to defeat him, that was actually able to kill him, was this guy right here, Doomsday. And he's still having nightmares about that, about being dead and all that stuff. And it's discovered that the cyborg Henshaw is still alive after the reign of the Superman storyline, and he's taking Doomsday to Apocalypse. And Doomsday is the only thing that Darkseid is afraid of. He's, I think he battled him once before, or he almost battled him or something. But anyway, it's discovered that Doomsday is pretty much the only thing that can kill Darkseid in the old DC universe.
Yeah. The good universe.
Yeah. I'll show you guys a picture of, Doomsday doesn't really acknowledge the cyborg Superman Henshaw because he's not really a living being. He's more robot than
He's more
yeah.
machine than man.
Yeah. Until the Reign of Doomsday storyline, where Doomsday comes back and he's on the hunt for Henshaw for revenge or for whatever reason, I can't remember. But Doomsday actually, he beats the hell out of Darkseid. As you can see here in this picture, Darkseid's clothes are all torn up and everything, and he falls and collapses from the battle. And Doomsday, Darkseid is scared to death of Doomsday. I mean, that's how powerful. And
now keep in mind that the only person that really ever could go toe to toe with Superman, and the only person where Superman didn't have to hold back and actually use his full power, his full strength, was on Darkseid.
Right.
And then you get this guy who's even more powerful, maybe, than Superman.
And this book 2 of Hunter Prey, Superman and Doomsday, is actually where they go in to the origin of Doomsday on Krypton.
Oh, that's pretty cool, yeah. I read this book like once,
and that's Doomsday after his forced evolution, on ancient Krypton.
Naked.
Yes, he was naked.
And as you can tell, had plenty of boner.
And it shows how one planet was able to defeat Doomsday. They combined all the
Silver Surfer?
no, all the members of the king's families were gathered up at his command. Their metahuman life forces were drained, their lives willingly given to a greater good. The royal scientists, grieving as they watched their rulers make such noble sacrifices, channeled the energies into their creation. The Radiant, a being of pure energy, was born. An artificial engineered life form created to destroy an artificial engineered life form. So basically, this alien planet created their own, Superman, basically.
Silver Surfer.
Yeah. To create, he actually looks more like the Ray. He's kind of got the Ray's powers, basically.
Kind of. Kind of like an Eradicator almost.
Yeah.
Entity that brought Superman to life.
Anyway, they create him to destroy Doomsday. And that's where, it's revealed that how Doomsday got wrapped in his funeral shard, or shroud, however you say it, and sent to Earth. Well, when Doomsday came back, he went up against the Radiant again, and because Doomsday can't be killed the same way twice, he destroyed the Radiant and wiped out the planet. The Radiant was all kind of cocky, saying, I defeated you once, I'll do it again.
That's just Doomsday's ability.
Yeah, and in fact, that's right here.
Book 3.
Yeah, book 3. Doomsday pretty much tears the Radiant right in half in that scene right there. And if you remember back during the Death and Return of Superman's toy line from, what was it, Mattel? Mm-hmm. Mattel did it. They had the Hunter Prey Superman. That's where this is the story where they got the Hunter Prey Superman suit from.
And I really wish I would have picked some of those action figures.
Yes.
Up. I really do.
I had the black costume Superman.
That was one you found all the time.
Yeah. I had Steel and I had Superboy. I wanted Eradicator and Henshaw though.
And I wanted Doomsday. Doomsday was of course the hardest one to find.
But that's the Hunter Prey Superman suit. They basically took pieces of Apocalypse to create armor for him, I guess. And Superman and Wave Rider have to work together to stop Doomsday on Apocalypse, which they're able to do, and they're able to imprison Henshaw And Darkseid pretty much takes this orb and imprisons Henshaw for a later date, which he'll come back later on. He releases him under the stipulation that he's not allowed to return to Apokolips, and that he destroys Superman. So, I mean, it's a great comic. The issue ends, or the book series ends with you have a picture of young Clark there with Martha Kent being hugged from being afraid, and you have Superman kissing Lois after defeating his greatest enemy. It really has to do with what makes a hero. Is a hero someone who can do something that other people can't, or is it
whether he's afraid or not?
Yeah, or is a hero someone who faces their fears to do stuff for the greater good? Even if it means sacrificing his own life.
And it was a nice sequel to The Death and Return of Superman too.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great sequel, and this even came out long before the Smallville television series ever. And like I said, I mean, the depiction of young Clark.
What year did this come out?
This came out in. Can't find the date. 94. This came out in 94.
So about yeah. And that was always really my issue.
And
with the fact they always brought Doomsday storylines out way too.
And I mean, the
quick.
fact that they had young Clark looking so much like Tom Welling is just astounding. That much
before Tom Welling was. Tom,
I mean, I honestly think they chose Tom Welling because of how much he looked like Superman in this comic.
Right.
I mean, it's a great series. I give it, a 10 out of 10.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It was decent.